Hi everyone, thanks for joining in today. My name's Steve Cooper. You're watching In Deep on the Delta. This is the weekly Delta fishing report for Christmas week. And if there's one report that you want to watch all year, it's probably going to be this one, because when it comes to my portion of the report, I'm going to actually recite a poem that I've written today, and it was written especially for my report. So you're going to want to check that out. All right, let's get into the report. We're going to start off on a high note, and that high note is going to be coming from New Maloney's Reservoir, and it's coming from John Liechty from Experienced Fishing Guide Service. John picked up a double digit at 10.6 last week on a large plastic swim bait. John reported that the big fish are on a pretty decent bite. He's throwing some big swim baits for the clients that want to learn how to swim bait fish, and he's getting some big fish. He's also getting pretty good numbers of fish for the folks that want to go up there and just, you know, have some fun and catch a few fish. I highly recommend John as a teaching guide, or great guy to fish with, but he is an unbelievable teacher, especially if you want to learn how to fish big swim baits. John is the guy to do it. He's taken about a week off or so. After the first of the year, John will be booking trips out of New Maloney. So I suggest, if you're looking to get off the Delta and maybe have a trip up to Maloney's, you're looking for a good guide, I highly recommend John. Give him a call, and his information will be in the remarks underneath wherever the heck I put him on the video here. But anyhow, that's John's report. Let's move along over to Clear Lake, and I talked to Jimmy from Clear Lake Bait and Tackle. The lake has risen about 4 inches, and they're really hoping for this storm to dump about 6 or 8 inches more water up at Clear Lake. That's what they're predicting, and hopefully Jimmy says they're going to need about the lake to rise about 1 foot, and that should open up the rest of the ramps. Fishing has not been as good as it has the last couple weeks up there. Real light pressure, hard to get reports from Clear Lake, but let's keep an eye on that. If we get this rain that we're supposed to be getting in the next 10 days or so, we may have all the ramps on Clear Lake to go up and fish here in the spring. So with that, let's keep it on a high note. We'll start off on the Delta, and Jeff Suhu from Suhu Sport Fishing had an unbelievable week on stripers. Now that's not the norm. It's just that maybe Jeff was in the right place at the right time, or he's just that good. But he had really good fishing, caught lots of fish, good solid, not huge fish, but just nice solid fat fish. Caught them all drifting live bait. And the one bright spot that Jeff was saying was he expects the fishing to remain good until the water drops down into the low 40s, you know, maybe 41, 42. He says once you see it get down there close to 40, it's probably going to taper off. Right now the water is anywhere from about 48 to 50 degrees, so you guys may still have a few weeks of good striper fishing. Again, if you're looking for a really good striper guide on the Delta, give Jeff a call. His information will be down in the remarks also. And the one thing about Jeff, after talking to Jeff for the last year or so, if you call him and want to book a trip and the fishing is just really tough or non-existent, he's not going to take you out there and have you sit in his boat for 8 hours looking for a bite. He's going to make sure there's at least, you know, a decent bite going on. He'll do everything that he can in his power to make sure that you guys go out and have a good day on the water and catch some fish. So that's Jeff Suhu from Suhu Sport Fishing. Also talked to Haps Bait. Their report was not good for them. The guys going out, you know, from Rio Vista the fishing has slowed down. The one bright spot is that Haps says the public pier there, or the city pier, they're actually catching a few stripers off of that. So if you don't have a boat, you like to bank fish, that might be a place you might want to try. Pick up a couple mudsuckers from Haps and go out there, sit out there, and, you know, bring some hot chocolate, hot tea, hot toddy, whatever you drink out there, sit around. You may get yourself a nice fish. And they've caught a couple of actually fish over 30 inches off the public pier in the last week or so. So there are some big fish running through on the Sacramento side there around Rio Vista. All right, let's get right into the largemouth bass. And it's been slow. There's no doubt about it. All of the reports that I've gotten, the people that I've talked to at the dock, my fishing has been slow. I have been in contact with Outdoor Sportsman here in Stockton and Hook, Line, and Sinker. They're not getting a ton of reports, but the people that they talk to, it's just really slow out there. And conditions in the last week or so have been pretty darn good. It just hasn't been great fishing. Now, the one exception to that is Rob over at the Basshole out on Bethel Island. Rob fished that tournament, Hook, Line, and Sinker tournament. I guess it's been not last Sunday, but the Sunday before. And, it wasn't a great tournament for a lot of guys. A couple of big bags came in. Rob caught a ton of fish. They just weren't the right fish. But he had a fun day of fishing. I think he said he caught 25 or 30 fish, just couldn't get the big ones to bite. Not bad for this time of year, but his 5 keepers, I think, were under 10 pounds somewhere. The high note on that is he went out a couple of days later and had another good day of numbers, but he also, in those numbers of 25 or 30 fish, got some fish in the 5 and 6 pound range. So that is, just shows you that it's just a given day, same guy, probably fishing the same gear in the same areas. One day, 7 or 8 pounds, next day 20 pounds or close to 20. I don't know what he got with his top 5, but got some big fish. Rob said he was fishing a a chrome lipless crankbait. So that's just a little information from that area. And I know Rob's on Bethel Island. He's probably going out of Sugar Barge or Russo's, fishing around there somewhere. If you're heading out that way, stop in at his shop, the Basshole, and he'll be more than happy to share the information with you on what's going on out on the Delta. So I guess it's time for me to read my poetry. I hope you guys love this poem because I spent a lot of time putting it together. And I'm going to get into the Christmas spirit. I'll put my Santa hat on. You can bring the kids around. And we'll get right into my part of the report. And here it is. I hope you like it. 'Twas the week before Christmas. The Delta was simply not right. The bass were all stubbornly refusing to bite. My baits were all rigged on lines with care, in hopes the big bite would soon be there. I was ready to go fishing and snug in my bed, while visions of glory danced in my head. When out on the water there arose such a clatter, I sprang from my bed to see what was the matter. And what to my wondering eyes should appear, a storm complete with whitecaps, rain, and wind shear. The rivers they muddied and the tides they shifted. Fishing these conditions was for fools or gifted. I sprang to my truck, hooked my boat in a hurry, and I headed for the ramp in a frenzied fury. Tied on a jerkbait, a spinner, and a jig with hair. Cast after cast, swear after swear. Punching and flipping, using lures that sink, yield nothing for me but frustration and one small dink. Still my eyes, how they twinkled, my dimples were merry. My cheeks were like roses, my nose like a cherry. Disappointed, you ask, for such lousy fishing? Everyone knows what I was wishing. Ho, 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 I replied with a grin on my face, while I'm in deep on the Delta, the most incredible place. I've got my good health and plenty of time. Fishing the Delta is simply divine. To the ramp I returned with speedy delight. There's always tomorrow. Merry Christmas and good night. Guys, thank you so much for watching. Make sure you like and subscribe. Hopefully you get out on the water because I'm going to need some company out there. And if you're out there, make sure you send me a report. And if you see me, I'm probably going to be the only other boat out there. It's been light pressure. Stop by, say hello, we'll chat. We'll have a good time. We'll share some fish stories. And with that, Merry Christmas. We'll see you guys on the water. Make sure you tune in next week. Thank you again for watching. Take it easy and have a great Christmas.